All right, we now cross to Castell in the Free State, where my colleague Tsepiso Makwetla is standing by. Very good evening to you, Tsepiso. Thanks indeed. Over to you.
No, thank you very much, Simpiwe. Indeed, we are coming to you live from the Castell Multi-Purpose Center. It falls under the Maluti Apofung administrative area, as you've heard the song referring to that. And I know before you came to us, you spoke to various community members, at least our team here in the Free State, about the water problem. This is what we'll be talking about. Castell, a small farming town, and we'll be telling you a little bit more about the towns that surround it, but you'll find QwaQwa, Dichaba, and we mentioned that it falls under the Maluti Apofung local municipality. Now, the importance of this is because it falls under the Thabo Mofokeng district municipality. It's been a hot battleground. You've seen the big political parties and their bigwigs sending their candidates to woo the voters here. And that is because it's been in the headlines several times. You can go as far back as 2000. Let's take you specifically to 2006, when the then executive mayor, which was Msebenzi Zwane, by the way, made an appeal to then President Thabo Mbeki to put this district municipality, in fact the entire municipality, under the presidential development node, decrying the poor state of affairs, not only the lack of capacity, but saying that if this were done, this would help boost economic development and capacitate it further. But of course, the region has made headlines as far back as 2004, and who would forget the names of Andries Tatani, who died 10 years ago, unwittingly becoming the face of poor service delivery here in the Free State. And of course, not so long ago, that was a year ago, Musambele, 8-year-old, was a painful reminder of the shortage of water, dying after trying to get water from a stream. We'll talk to the various political parties and the communities about why these problems persist. But the constant struggle for basic human rights, this is why we're here. We're talking about a population of about 250,000 people, Simpiwe, and more than 70% of those live in abject poverty. You will hear from the people here as you drive down the potholed streets how not just how bad infrastructure is, but the plans that have been spoken about in many manifestos of growing the local economy, of providing jobs, have pretty much fell to naught. And we'll be talking about the 2018 municipal rather in 2018, how this particular municipality was put under administration. So there are 67 council seats that are being competed for here, and 10 of those belong to independents. How did they come into the picture? All out of frustration, they say. Some of them will tell you that it seems the governing party only understands the language of a burning tire. Pretty strong words. You'll hear that from the community here. So a very good evening to you. A warm welcome. This is our live broadcast from the Free State, along with my colleagues. But let's just first introduce you to the people who will be giving you more details about why this district, Maluti Apofung, is, or rather this municipality, local municipality, is pivotal. Community leaders joining us, Big Boy Mazibuko, who represents QwaQwa Shutdown, is here with us, the political parties that are represented, and I'll announce them by order of speaking. Godfrey Katsana, who is from the African Transformation Movement, he's the provincial secretary. Wangani Lutuli is the Acdp, the African Christian Democratic NEC member. Speaking on behalf of the African National Congress is Mwekezi Napo, as well as Alison Oates, who's the Democratic Alliance councillor. Welcome to you as well. Mahlomola Mojake is the Economic Freedom Fighters Regional Deputy Chair. He'll tell us why he says sooner or later this this hall itself will be named after him. So confident is he that the EFF are going to gain ground. And Makgatabo Moloi is the African Content Movement Regional Spokesperson, Mweketsi Lebisa, the QwaQwa party leader, and Paratlani Mutloung is from MAP 16. He's a convener. A very warm welcome to you all. As you can see, the political party supporters are here. They were singing earlier on in support of their formations, political formations or civic organizations. So the ground rules that's already been explained to them, as you know, due to COVID-19, alert level 1, we are all keeping our masks on. So if yours is off, please put it back on. I'd appeal to you, we'll only take off our masks if we are speaking, including in the audience. I will let you know if you're welcome to speak here at the microphone, and it will be duly sanitized. My mask is off because unfortunately or fortunately, I have to facilitate the discussion. So for 3 minutes, I'm going to allow Big Boy Mazibuko to just give us a sense of, you can leave your mask off for now, give us in 3 minutes why you think this local municipality is in the mess that you say it's in. Your 3 minutes starts now.
Thank you very much, Tsepi. My name is Big Boy Mazibuko. I'm from QwaQwa Shutdown. Actually, we are the voice of the voiceless as a leader of Shutdown. The first thing that we are going to state here, it's based on the poor electricity and the water challenges that we are facing in our local municipality. Number 3 is a sewer split everywhere in our municipality, and industrialization and youth representation, and including disabilities, disabled people and elders. Our corruption as well. Forget about corruption. Our municipality is a worst corrupt municipality in South Africa. You can go everywhere. You can go to papers. You can even enter in their offices. Even you can enter in their offices. They are corrupt. Corrupt, very, very, very corrupt, including the mayor, our current mayor. We call him is 30 minutes seconds mayor. She's corrupt. Corrupt. Everyone in our municipality is corrupt under the leadership of the ANC. So we, QwaQwa Shutdown, we are calling all the community of Maluti Apofu never to vote again the Goliath. Goliath wasted too much time of the community of Maluti Apofu. For an example, you can go to places like Blukambush. Even now as you speak, there's no electricity there. When the president comes to South Africa, to QwaQwa, they switch on the lights. When the president leaves QwaQwa, the lights back off again. You can go to places like Mononta, Tseseng, Tseki. Even now as you speak, there is no water, there is no electricity. How can people survive without electricity? How can people survive without job? People are losing job in Maluti Apofu. They are losing job everywhere. You can go. Investors, they are living in QwaQwa because of there's no water, there is no electricity. Everywhere is pothole. We are no longer calling potholes. We are calling it mangope. Selemangope. Even Mr. President established what you call a steering committee. They don't even consider our steering committee because they don't take us serious. Here in Maluti Apofu, there is no municipality. It's only corruptists today. And we will never, as QwaQwa Shutdown, we will make sure, even if the new administration. Thank you very much.
Big Boy Mazibuko. So establishing pretty much the groundwork for our discussion, I'll now give the political parties 2 minutes each. Why should, in the face of what Big Boy Mazibuko has described, the electorate vote for you? He's clearly pointed a finger not only at the governing party, but the municipality as a whole, because some of you are represented in it. In 2 minutes, I'm going to start with you, Mr. Godfrey Katzan. Just explain to us why should people vote for your party and why not vote for the other parties?
Okay, thank you very much. We as the African Transformation Movement, we are alive to the fact that
The gains that we have made have been overtaken by the pains, as it has been mentioned now, that we come into a situation whereby we see poverty taking a form of hunger and starvation. So as the African Transformation Movement, we're having a value proposition in terms of our manifesto to be voted, because if you see at what is happening now, you'll find that to reverse that or to have a catch-up plan in order to be able to again make this municipality to be back on its feet, we need to build a corrupt-free, accountable and capable municipality. Again, we need to promote a healthy and environmentally protected community. We need to upskill our communities, and in the main, we need to empower our youth, people with disability, as well as the women. We need again to build an infrastructure that is not going to be dilapidated, and again, we need to make sure that the maintenance of the infrastructure is the priority. So the capital expenditure budget is one thing that we need to be able to monitor it, because without that, then we are not going to be able to bring this municipality back to where it was.
Thank you very much, Godfrey Katsana, keeping your time. Let's move now to Bongani Lutuli from the SADP, the NEC member. Tell us why people should vote for your party and not for others. What will you do better? Your 2 minutes starts now.
Thank you, sis. I think at the heart of...
you can take the microphone, please.
Thank you. At the heart of local government is service delivery. After 27 years, the people of South Africa are alive to the fact that the ruling party has failed in its promise. And the reason why it has failed is because of corruption. We know that from the SIU report that the tenders were awarded through cronyism. And it's a misnomer to say people are disgruntled at politics and political parties. No, no, no. People are disgruntled at the ANC and its corruption and its nature. So what does the ACDP offer for the people of South Africa? Number one, these elections that are coming now are going to fall squarely and decided on values. And those are values of accountability. Those are values of godly government. And there's only one political party that espouses those values. If you look at the history of the ACDP from the inception of democracy in this country, there's never been any allegation of maladministration or corruption or crassness. There's always been a fair and a clean audit in everything that we do and in our assessment of our record. So that's what the ACDP is actually putting into the fore. When we restore godly government, we're going to ensure that there's accountability. We're going to ensure that all the structures that are there as checks and balances are going to capacitate it. We can't weaken the Office of the Public Protector. We can't weaken other Chapter 9 institutions if we want a strong and thriving democracy. So this province of Free State has been actually abhorrent when it comes to national discourse. So that's why the ACDP is saying, let's come back to a godly government and look at clean audits, and we shall ensure that that is done. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Bongani Lituli of the ACDP. So I believe that the problem was only with one microphone. You can use the mics that have been attached to you, so you don't need to use that. You can. We'll get somebody to take the mic from you and have it sanitized. Let's move on now to Mwekezi Napa of the African National Congress. You've heard what some of the political parties are saying is wrong with this administrative area of Maluti Apofung. Why should people continue voting for you, and why not for the other political parties? We're going to give you 2 minutes as well. Your 2 minutes starts now.
No, thank you very much, Tsepiso. As African National Congress, we are saying since the dawn of democracy, 1994, the African National Congress has managed to provide free basic services to communities such as water, electricity. We managed to provide social grants for the poor. We managed to build houses. We managed to make sure that more than 10 million learners access basic education. We managed that more than 10 million learners have access to nutrition at schools. And as African National Congress, we are the only organization that is fighting corruption. That is why, as African National Congress, we have implemented our 54th Nazareth resolution in terms of those who have been accused of corruption must step aside. And we are saying for this coming elections on the 1st of November, we are going to make sure that we bring honest and competent councillors. And last week, Tuesday, we have made sure that all our candidates have signed a pledge as part of our commitment. And we are saying, as African National Congress, we are going to make sure that those challenges that our communities are facing, we are going to address them. We are going to fix potholes, we are going to fix roads and so forth. So as African National Congress, we are saying people must vote for the African National Congress so that we can continue to build a better life for the communities. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mwekezi. So just laying it out there, refuting the claims that have been made by the various political parties, saying that they are delivering. And we move on now to the opposition, Democratic Alliance Councillor Alison Oates. Please tell us why you would be better placed to deliver on the promises that you make and why other parties won't achieve this. In 2 minutes, your 2 minutes starts now.
First of all, I want to say that this area is worth fighting for. When I talk to people in our area and I ask them if they like living here, I have never found anyone who says this is a horrible place and they can't wait to leave. This is worth fighting for. We are in a beautiful area in the corner of Lesotho, KZN and the Free State. There are fantastic mountains. There are factories here. There is a special economic zone, which is going nowhere at the moment, but has potential. The busiest highway in Africa goes through our area, bringing thousands of potential customers past our door every single day. And let me tell you, most of them stop at our truck stops or our convenience stops. We have got a university here. We have got FET colleges here. We have got private schools and lots of public schools. The situation is in a terrible mess, and the other speakers have alluded to that, and I'm not going to go into more detail. There is a place right next to us in Kerstal here, an extension, where people are building houses with absolutely no services, no water, no nothing. They've got to just come klar. This is unacceptable. And whose fault is it? Entirely the people who put the ANC into power. I'm very sorry to say this, but if you vote for the ANC, this is what you get. We talk about an indigent register, giving people basic services. There isn't one here. Well, I must say that when we are talking to people in QwaQwa...
Your time is up, Alison Oates. Thank you very much. That's what the Democratic Alliance leader says in motivation for why they deserve your vote. Let's hear now from Mahlomola Modjake, Economic Freedom Fighters Regional Deputy Chair. And you have said that you deserve to have even this hall named after you. Why should people vote for you? What evidence is there that other parties won't deliver?
Thank you very much, Tsepiso and the viewers at home. Firstly, as the economic freedom fighters here in Molotopofu, we are going to restore supply of water, electricity and sanitation, which is a problem currently. As we are having this show here in QwaQwa, in Butadichaba, there is no electricity. So we are going to restore that. We are also going to follow up on the issue of 220 million, which has been squandered in terms of water rectification in Molotopofu. We are going to follow up those people who have squandered that money. And then we are also going to deal with corruption, which is rampant currently at Molotopofu. We are going to follow up on an issue of 59 million, which has been spent on PPE, which you can't touch, you can't feel. We are also going to ensure that we formalize all informal settlements that are here in Molotopofu. We are also going to deal with a very important issue, which is at the center. The budget of this municipality is 1.6, but it's all ESCOM 6 billion. So it shows you that it's unrealistic, it is not credible, and it is not going to address the issues that affect our people on a daily basis. So we are going to turn around the situation and provide land and jobs to our people. We are going to provide land and jobs to our people because land is everything. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Osmahata Zomoloi from the African Content Movement Regional Spokesperson. I know it looks like we skipped you over, but I think the order was mixed up. But let's give you your 2 minutes to explain why you believe, as a fairly new player, people should be voting for you and not other political parties.
Thank you very much. SABC, we are going to make changes at Malidua just because ANC failed to make changes. People, when you vote for a poverty, vote for ANC just because he failed our people. Everything there is in corruption. We don't have water. We don't have electricity. We have a lot of potholes, and the investors didn't come at Malidua just because of the potholes. As ACM, we are going to fix that things, all problems, within 6 months.
1 minute.
1 minute. Within 6 months, vote for us so that we can make changes, and vote for the fresh blood so that we can make things happen. As you know, that we must change things. People must get jobs, find jobs, so that we can.
All right, thank you very much, Makgatha Zomoloi from the African Content Movement. So that was even before your time is up, but you'll still have an opportunity to speak further. Let's move now to the leader of the QwaQwa party, Mweketse Lebesa. What is your party saying? You've got a history that you like to reflect back on and say you did well when you were in governance. Tell us why they should vote for you now. How must people bring you into power, and why not the others?
Thank you very much. I will hire her minutes. Maluti Apofung, which is our little Switzerland, entrenched deeply in the Maluti Mountains. It's like Humpty Dumpty. The ANC has turned this place into Humpty Dumpty. The QwaQwa Party of South Africa, as you say, is a tried and tested alternative to the African National Congress. Why should people vote for us? Let me give you practical and cost-effective alternatives. One, we will bring clean and efficient local government administration by introducing 4 C's: competence, compliance, corruption will be dealt with, 4, consequence management. On the issue of water, the water crisis, the water disaster in Maluti is not a natural disaster. It's a man-induced disaster. It's a state-orchestrated disaster in Maluti. We have 3 dams here in Maluti. One is the 3rd largest dam in the country, which is Sterkfontein, which storage capacity of 1.9 billion cubic meters. We have Fikapatsu, we have Metsimatsu dam. All of them are over 80% full now, but people still do not have water in Maluti. Those who are lucky enough to get water, they get water with high turbidity level, which is muddy and brownish. So practically, we will reconnect old pipes to Metsimatsu Dam. We will do what we call reverse pumping. We were pumping from the south to the north. Now we are going to pump from the north to the south through the Sterkfontein water treatment plant in Sterkfontein. We have Sterkfontein water plant, which is 10 megaliters. We will promote that. We will upgrade that to 100 megaliters.
All right, thank you very much, Mweketse Lebesa is the leader of the QwaQwa party. I think I need to mention this for those of us who are sitting here and our viewers, that we may have a potentially volatile situation developing on the outside. We believe that there are people who are outside of the community center who want to force their way inside, but due to the capacity being reached inside the hall, we will not be able to accommodate them, but we will, of course, keep you abreast of the situation as it develops. And having said that, Mr. Paratlani Mutloung from MAP 16, you have emerged as a result of some of the frustration, which is possibly being the reason why people are outside. Tell us, In 2 minutes, why should people vote for your organization into power and give you more votes and not the others, including your former home, which is the ANC? Your 2 minutes starts now.
Thank you very much, Tsepiso, and the viewers at home. Tsepiso, we are the only alternative to the African National Congress rule in Maluti Apofung. We have demonstrated that in 2019 when we beat them to the pulp during the by-elections that we had in August that year. I can tell you, Tsepiso and the viewers at home, that MAP 16 has done so much already in this municipality. The fact that you have the Hawks and the SIU in this municipality conducting investigations here is as a result of our intervention as MAP 16. I personally was involved in that action. We are saying as MAP 16, we need to restore the dignity of our people. The basic rights that they should be having are being violated by the ruling party, the African National Congress. When you talk of water, electricity, sewage, the roads, refuse removal, all those are basics that the municipality should be seized with. But unfortunately, all what we see is the ineptness that we find in the leadership of the African National Congress, the leadership in the administration that we have here. So as MAP 16, what we say we are going to do there is to transform the whole municipality. It's like starting afresh this municipality. So we say, come the 1st of November, that should be the reckoning day for the people of Maluti Apofung. That should be the day the people of Maluti Apofung should be released from the bondage of the African National Congress.
Thank you very much, Paratlan Mutlong of MAP 16. You've heard from the various political parties. Their supporters are here. As we mentioned earlier on, there are people outside of the premises who are trying to force their way in. We've got live visuals as we're beaming them out to there. Just to mention that our international news editor, QwaQwa, is outside also trying to negotiate to calm the situation down. We will give you more details of what's happening and, of course, get deeper into the issues that has caused or raised the ire of those who are in here and outside. Do stay with us. You're watching the Full View, coming to you live from Kessel here in the Free State.
Welcome back to the Full View. Now, these are live visuals coming from Castell in the Free State. It seems that a standoff is brewing between what looks like political party members and international desk editor QwaQwa is trying to negotiate with these party members. It's not yet clear what the genesis of this standoff is all about. We'll try to get more details, and as soon as we get it, we'll definitely be sharing them with you. These are live visuals coming out of the Multipurpose Centre in Castell in the Free State. My colleague Tsepiso Mokwetla is inside the hall, and she's in conversation with various political parties who we've seen earlier on. They've been making strong cases of why they should be voted, in the office as the parties of choice. And as soon as we get an understanding of what of what the standoff is all about, I see QwaQwa there being highly charged and trying to negotiate with some of the political party members. We're not exactly sure which parties they are and what exactly the standoff is all about. And we'll get you more details as and when we get them. These are live visuals coming from Castell in the Free State. And now we go back inside the hall where my colleague Tsepiso is standing by with some of the political parties. Tsepiso, over to you.
Basotho beso ba batle Basotho ke batho ba khotso ske la mphoqa ke tlo le fa maike o bua ka mathata and ha ke o ska bua nako e telele ho ba nako e nyane ke tlo e fetisetsa ho batho ba bang. Oh, okay, we are live right now. We are live right now on SABC. We're gonna talk to you. You are going to issue or you are going to talk about your challenges, ne? We understand that you wanted to come in, but because of the regulations on COVID-19, we can't accommodate many people. But because SABC cares, it is a people's broadcaster. We are now out here. I'm not even supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be inside helping in the background. But I am going to talk to you. I'm starting with you. What are your problems here in Castell? And be short so that we can talk to few people.
Okay. Yeah, here in Castell, we struggling so many things. Ke bua sotho le go utlwa ndene ya wana ba sotho mona Castell ngwana se mona Castell ka sokola ka ditsa metsi di tshebeletso le ba letapele ba rona ba re sebisa maka fela ke di le bontse ba etapele ha ona ntwe tsolang pele ngwaneso.
The concerns are water, electricity, and that the leaders are not honest. Next ntate tlo bua sotho oh ke tloka bua ntate bua
as a leader ya EFF ke tsaba ibile ke swabile nko feta molomo hore ke kwallwe wan ke meeting tshaba ke sena ka moraka ke bohloko ratio e ka hare tsena tsa dintho tse tshaba se setlolla ka tsona ke tlotloa ke fe mme a fe tshaba sena tletlebo tsa bona empa ne ke itse nna as a leadership le candidate ya ka bo councilor re kwaletse ka ntle le late ka a minute but now isentse bontsha bo biasness.
Okay, ha re bua
governance mentse ke bua ska nkena hano biasness ya government role. It means ha councilor candidate is a gone ken ratio all the parties are here empa ne re tseba the ratio of 5 as pesa ya di peps now councilor candidate ka ntle mare jwale ke tla tloela ke first chaba ke bone tla dresswa ke bo mang ke a lebo
ke lebohila o le tatwa ka ke mang e mong a batlang ho bua ho ba jwale re ka ntle ka mo impa re televisioning bua he ntate bothata ke
me ke dula by pay money extension 6 ke na le mo tse tharo mono ke dula mono ha ke na metsi ha ke na motlakase so ha ke sa rwale patsi ho tshore ha ke jina ka ke ne ke kopa hore province ka nete ba SABC rona tshaba samna re phela ka thata ene ha re thole tshebeletso mo Castell ke mmekale.
As you can see, these are citizens of Castell, Thabo Mofutshanyane municipality and Maluti Apofung municipality, Thabo Mofutshanyane district. There are serious challenges. It's no surprise that they came here and they wanted to come in so that they can talk about their challenges. The sad thing is that leaders, different political party leaders were here last weekend. We saw them descending here at Maluti Apofung, but clearly ordinary citizens are not satisfied. And so back to you. We will try our level best as SABC. We have our colleagues here from Bloemfontein. They will be here tomorrow to carry on and report and engage with communities. Over to you, Tsepiso.
Thank you very much, Sophie. As you said, underscoring the reason why we are here in this particular municipality. And I'd like to take this to Mwekezi Napo, the African National Congress representative. I'm going to give you 2 minutes, and then I'm going to give you the other political parties another 2 minutes to respond to this. Why would we be in this situation, the volatile situation that we're seeing outside, if, as you said, that you have delivered, you talked about water, electricity, you talked about social grants, access to education. How true is your statement if we have the situation that we have outside? And I've got financial statements that we can get into, but I'd just like to get an answer to that simple question.
No, thank you. So indeed, as African National Congress, we have delivered. But we must appreciate some of the weaknesses and mistakes. due to challenges. I must indicate, Tshepiso, in relation to the issue of electricity. The demand of electricity is high than the supply. And one of the challenges is the issue of illegal connections in our areas. There is massive illegal connection and electricity tampering in our area. And secondly, there is an issue of vandalism of substations and so forth. And the issue of cable theft is some of the issues that we are facing as African National Congress. But we are saying we are going to fix that. That is why the Deputy President of the country, Mr. David Mabuza, came here so that at least national government to assist Maluti Apofung to partner with ESCOM to address the issue of electric challenge in this area. That is why currently, as African National Congress-led municipality, we are refurbishing the substations so that at least at the end of the day, our people are able to access electricity. On the issue of water at Tshepiso, some of the challenges that are related to electricity in this area are related somewhere because we pump water through electricity. Our substation, we pump through electricity. That is why when there is no electricity, our people are not able to access water. But we have engaged the Department of Water and Sanitation, Minister Senzo Mnguni, and we have agreed that they are going to assist in terms of making sure that at least the issue of water challenges in this area is addressed at Tshepiso. That is why we are saying as African National Congress.
All right, Mr. Napo, you know, the thing is, I want to question what you're saying, and I'm sure the other political parties and the political party supporters and residents here can speak to it, because I heard them, you know, really say no to what you were saying. The fact that these issues arose as far back as 2000, your own political party went to the then president to request that it falls this district under the presidential development node because these problems existed then. You say you're delivering. I don't see how that is possible. I'm going to give each of the parties here a minute each to respond to what you're saying. Big Boy, Masuko, let's start with you. You have a minute to respond to that.
Thank you very much, Tsepi. Actually, I'm not disagreeing with Mr. Napo. Mr. Napo, they know very well that they are corrupt in our municipality. Everything that they are doing in Maluti Apofung is to steal the money of the poorest. And they are defending themselves as if they are delivering the services to the poor of the poorest. One thing that we know about them, they are stealing, they are granting tenders to their friends. For an example, I heard him talking about electricity. Poor electricity, whatever what he was saying. Let me tell you something. Now they are going, yes, they are going to install smart meters in QwaQwa. Ask him. They gave their friends tender to install the smart meters in Maluti Apofung. There's no even single contractors in Maluti Apofung who got the tender to install the smart meters. They are always lying to us, saying no. They are. Okay.
I'm going to ask him to respond later on about that. So you're basically saying, Mr. Napo is correct. They are delivering, but they're delivering to themselves for themselves. Let's move on now to Godfrey Katsana, African Transformation Movement. Your response to some of what you've heard. You've got a minute. It starts now.
Yes, thank you. Recently, the President of South Africa was here in QwaQwa. One of the things that he came up with a comment that he has observed a distance between the political leadership and the community. So there is no feedback, there is nothing. The problem is that if you have wronged the community, so you cannot go back to them and speak to them. What is happening outside there is still the same thing, that distance. So we as the ATM were saying that we've got an enabler to be able to address the very same issues of bringing back dignity to the people, because we need to elevate the role and the value of traditional and religious affairs so that the chiefs and the queens and the kings and they can be able to deal with this problem of crime, problem of stealing.
All right, Mr. Katsana, thank you very much. And just to say to our viewers, welcome if you've just joined us. We're coming to you live from Castell Multi-Purpose Hall. We we have been showing you, continue to show you live visuals of the situation outside. The frustration that you're hearing that you're hearing from the hall is what those outside were, really saying is. What Mr. Katsana was saying, there's a growing distance between the political parties and the leaders and the communities. Let's hear from Bongani Lutuli of the Acdp. Do you agree that the ANC has been delivering, that it is rogue elements who are responsible for illegal connections, for why we are in the situation we're in? Your minute starts now.
Absolutely not. I mean, how can the ANC come on live television, speak to the nation and say it's the only political party that has fought corruption, which means it's fighting itself? He boasts of the step-aside resolution as though it's a triumphant card that shows that they are remorseful, they want to fix themselves, but that is just all politicking. We know that the whole thing about step-aside is used for factionalism and nothing else. You and I are not going to benefit from that. The people outside Tsepiso are justified in their righteous anger, but we say they have to express it on the 1st of November. If a political party in government can loot in the midst of a pandemic, we are in a crisis. The ANC has lost its moral compass. The people must speak on the 1st of November.
All right, let's hear from from Alison Dates, Democratic Alliance Councillor. You have a minute to rebut what the ANC was saying. I mean, you yourself said to the audience here that the situation that they're in now is a result of their voting for the ANC. Talk to us practical examples of why the ANC has failed. You've taken legal action, you filed criminal charges. Tell us about that. Where did that lead you up to, or did it also come to naught? You have a minute.
Various community organizations in Harrismith have taken Eskom and the local government to court to force them to stabilize the electricity situation. The court ruled that Eskom should take over, but this municipality is dragging its feet. We had a council meeting at the end of June which agreed that Eskom had to come and present a proposal to us. 4 months have gone past and nothing has been done. We talk about Harrismith, Interbazo was without electricity because the Eskom bill for that pump, not the overall Eskom bill, but the bill for that pump had not been paid. Now, how can that has to be either total mismanagement or absolute corruption.
And we believe there's a total outstanding 7 billion rand owed to creditors as we speak at the moment. Let's hear now from Makgathatso Moloi of the African Content Movement. You're the regional spokesperson. Your leader, Hlaudi Motsoeneng, when we were speaking during the campaign trail recently said you are promising miracles. What kind of miracles? You were saying that you are going to do big things. How can you move the situation away from where we are to what you are promising, and what exactly is it? Your minute begins now.
I'm going to change the situation just because ANC has failed us. As you know that at Maluti Aphofu, we have a problem of water. We are going to fix the pipe so that all the people must receive water. We don't want water from JoJo's. We want water from our taps. Other thing, electricity problem.
30 seconds.
Electricity problem. They must fill the proper inquiries so that all the things must supply for the people. The ANC has failed us just because he say the people stole the cables.
All right,
they stole the cable just because they is unemployed.
All right. Thank you, Makgathatso Moloi of the African Content Movement. Let's hear now from the EFF to hear what they're proposing. You have been part of the oversight, the opposition with regards to the claims that are being made by the ANC. How can you do better, and why have you still failed to hold them to account despite what you've brought to the fore in terms of the alleged corruption?
Thank you very much, Tsepiso. No, we we were able to hold them to account. Practical example, we were able to remove the mayor. The previous executive mayor was removed by the motion of no confidence sponsored by us and supported by our colleagues here. So that's how far we went. And we even went to an extent of opening cases for them. Hence, my colleague there was talking about SIU and Hawks. But what is it that we can do as the economic freedom fighters? We will refurbish a substation there in Tsesing, in Mwedi, so that it assists in terms of addressing electricity. We will also refurbish the substation here outside Kestel called Sonata, next to Aberfeld, so that it can assist in terms of providing electricity. In terms of water, the 220 million I was talking about earlier, the reason why it was squandered is because the Jojo tanks that are going up and down are owned by politicians from the African National Congress, their friends, their families.
Majake, your time is up. Thank you very much. Mahlomola Majake, the EFF's Deputy Chair, Regional Deputy Chair. Let's hear now from Weketsi Libesa, the QwaQwa party leader.
Yeah, it is laughable and reprehensible that a leader of the ANC in full glare of television cameras can mislead the nation. It means Napo Mekit is clueless. He doesn't know anything about Maluti Apofu. He's not even a councillor. One, the 78 million rand that was meant for a pipeline in Kestel was looted in 2017, was used for entertainment. Two, there is a reservoir in Kestel here, which has been standing there for 15 years, a multi-million reservoir. It is there, up there. It has been there in 20 years. It's incomplete. Two, he says there is a massive illegal connections in Maluti Apofu. How can a government official or a leader of a ruling party say there is a massive illegal connection, which means if they cannot control massive illegal connections, means they are not fit to govern. That is why we are saying, Sechaba Saipulusa, community liberate itself. It is now or never. They must vote for us. Remove this ANC, which is incompetent. They cannot even deal with vandalism. But we have security companies, private security companies that are paid 6 million, 7 million rand, but there is vandalism.
Thank you, Mr. Libesa. So that's 110,000 houses, I believe, that have been illegally connected into the grid. If you look at the number of houses that have power, I think those are the figures. You can correct me later. Let me come to Paratlane Mutlong. You spoke earlier on about the SIU investigation gazetted by President Cyril Ramaphosa. We haven't heard anything yet about that. That was several years ago. You speak about the Hawks. You say that is due to action that you took. You were inside of the ANC, for instance. Tell us a little bit more about this. First of all, is the ANC's statement truthful that they are delivering, and what needs to be done? You have a minute.
Thank you very much, Tsepiso. Clearly, the ANC have come to perfect lies, Tsepiso. We have come to be accustomed to that as a nation in this country. You know, my colleague here, Untitled, has already spoken about this pipeline, which was budgeted with 78 million, which was squandered by the African National Congress-led councillors in our area. Look, Tsepiso, we believe that our first priority in this area is to remove the African National Congress from power. That's why, as MAP 16, we are saying, here, we are trying to say to our people that we should take things into our own hands, because we have clearly seen that the African National Congress has failed us dismally. What Napo is saying here is laughable indeed, like Untitled is saying. We would not be here, would not be hearing these things that people are saying. People are suffering. We would not be having the level of unemployment that we're having, the kind of the illegal connections that we have.
We're going to have to take a break, but we want to hear from the community members who are political party supporters about the exact circumstances under which you live. We'll be taking questions from the floor in just a moment. We're going to take a quick break and return back here to Kestel Community Center to talk about the major issues here at the Maluti Apofu district, or rather local municipality within the Thabo Mfutsanyane district municipality. Do stay with us.